So Joe, what species do you process here?
So the basic red meat species, beef, lamb, pork, goats. We do some exotics. A few. We have one farmer that raises yaks. We got a farmer that raises Asian water buffalo, and we have done an alpaca at least once in the last year. And there's others out there.
Will you
But
touch bison?
we used to do bison. There was a farm in the county that had a bison herd. Uh, we won't do those anymore. We're not. I've come to the conclusion that if you don't have um, good strong steel lanes to move them through, so you can create a safe handling environment and know that you're going to be able to restrain them and move them the way you would want them. They're they're just too unpredictable, and they're too fast and
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah, they definitely put your plant at risk and your employees too.
Yeah.
If you could give, say, three pieces of advice, or your top three um, advice to a beginning farmer or new farmer who wants to get into direct marketing meat, what would that be?
Well, um, as their processor, I would urge them to develop good handling facilities very early off the bat so that they can predictably and reliably load their animals onto their trailer and get them to their processor so that when they schedule an animal they know that they're going to be able to get that animal to their processor and be able to carry out their end of the bargain, and know that that's going to work whether it's good weather, bad weather, wet weather, snowy weather, what have you. That's from the processor's perspective. That's a very important thing. I guess the second piece of advice is knowing that what I find is that farmers know livestock, but farmers don't know meat. So that's a lot to ask while you're trying to figure out the farming end of things. But also, if you're going to be direct marketing the products, you need to understand something about the meat, how the customer's going to prepare it, what customers are looking for, what the different cuts are, so you can communicate to me the cutting instructions, and then that's going to fit in with how you plan to sell it and market it and that type of thing. So those are two pieces of advice, and there's actually a lot of resources out there around that, and also your processor's willing to help you with that, provided he doesn't have to spoon feed you. He's going to expect you to do your part to try to understand it. And I think the last thing I would say is to realize you're not going to be able to do everything and be everything to everybody. So try to understand what it is that you're set up to do the best at to be successful. And to kind of target your market a little bit. Are you trying to sell to restaurants? Are you trying to sell to high-end farmers market type of things? Are you really wanting to do more raised locker meats, so that instead of selling individual cuts, you're actually selling animals or half animals or shares or something like that, and so that you can kind of target it, because the key thing is that people never quite think about is cold storage. If you're going to be selling meat, you've got to have adequate, reliable cold storage. And how are you going to minimize your waste? How are you going to be able to move the most? It's easy to sell high-end steaks. If you're in the beef business, you're not going to be successful until you're able to sell all your ground beef. So you've got to price that properly, and really think about that, because that's going to be the product you're going to have the most of.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to sell it all. So.
My last question for you is, what new opportunities do you see on the horizon for this business?
For my business in particular?
Yeah.
I think that the thing that we're excited about is that we've just added value added. We never did value added before this year, which is to say we put a smokehouse in, and we're starting to create, we've been doing bacon and ham, so we've been working with pork products. We're getting ready to do some some smoked sausages, and then down the road maybe we'll start, everything we're doing now is labeled ready to cook. Mm-hmm. We'll start doing ready to eat next year, I'm hoping. I know a lot of the beef customers really want us to do snack sticks. This is America, so we want our food convenient. We want to carry it everywhere with us and be able to do things on the go, and that's just a huge, massive growing market. And I've got customers that are literally, we're slaughtering for them, but then they take large amounts of it and they throw it in freezers, coolers, and drive up to Pennsylvania, drive 3 hours and drop it off at processors up there to get snack sticks made, and then go back up a week later and pick it all up. That's a lot of back and forth. So with the smokehouse, for the first time, which kind of blows my mind, in Virginia, if you're a farmer doing this direct marketing stuff, you actually have a place that you can reliably schedule hog slaughter, and then get bacon, Canadian bacon, ham, soon to be, smoked sausages available. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I think that, so that's a big opportunity if we can execute.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe.